Oh, just doing stuff in Salem and working with some of my conservation groups and nobody.
Hey, Richard, are you there?
Anything, so it's going to be a frustrating session.
Well, I was gonna ask you if you had money for something.
Well, depends on what it is. I got $2.
Lunch?
Yeah.
That's money ready to
Lunch or breakfast?
Yeah.
So what are you doing in Salem?
Well, I've got habitat and fish groups and coalitions I've been working with over the years, and I'm still connected with them. And
Hey, Richard, can you hear me?
help them get into meetings and develop testimony for them. Working on several different things this week because the budgets are natural resources.
What kind of contact do you have with ODOT?
Limited, but they, working on corridors for wildlife and things like that.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
What's up, Brandon?
But,
Remind me your name again?
Lance.
We want to add that
I see this.
trail moving,
oh, okay.
so it's gonna be an adventure. Kids,
It's gonna be an adventure, just different
we're
from
gonna have you sit in the back here.
Let me ask you guys about a little tiny thing. Are there any plans to put new lines on the courts in the bike center? Could they do that? Because in the
Only,
last.
only when they refinish the floor, and that's not coming up
Okay,
for a bit.
because the last,
Hey, talk to him, he was
Talking-
responsible for the last
I'm
one.
talking to you both of them. The last 3 days, I've had 2 people who play a lot, make the same complaint to me, but I made several times contrary.
See where,
Well, I can't see the.
You know what, I don't know who the guy was, because I didn't really respect it.
Yeah.
Actually, depending on the spaces, you there when we had our first aquatic meetings, this is like half the meeting, just like pickleball, which was fine, but he was the one who worked with us.
Hey, Richard, can you hear me?
An architect put those lines in, so I said, okay, well, they did great. So you pick a guy involved,
Yeah.
it's great, so just, you let it to that, if I would've known anything different, if my wife would've been playing at that time, I would've known,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
so.
for most of us, or at least
You guys have enough?
most of us older people can't see.
We should. I think there's one on Zoom, but I'm trying to get it.
Play,
You have so
on
many
the other
hearts, so
court.
many
The opponents.
You're gonna have to look for
money,
this.
and
Did you get any other questions? Find out.
No, we haven't. No, but we haven't reached out to anyone either. Yeah.
they cleaned it
monkeys
flat,
that we
and
use
it's
this one,
been
we
staying pretty
still
good.
survive.
And they put a good finish on it the
Just
first
in
time.
case, 'cause you wanna.
But it's only been, well, it's only been twice because we had leakage, right?
I will.
I never had to redo it.
Oh, really?
Save that.
You really like that, but anyway,
Well, in terms of colors, a lot of colors are out there already.
Yeah.
But my thought would be a really bright, vibrant green color would be something that would work
Well,
well.
I'm sure they have. I'm surprised they like
now I'm really disappointed in that, but it is what it is.
Is there any way to bring that up and have just that done at some point? Or-
that. No,
Because their surface over the top of this now.
yeah.
You have to go down to the
Basically,
base floor to, I
you're
have a
sanding
gym
the
in
whole floor and
McMinnville,
you're-
they've gotta go all the way down to the wood to redo it, and typically, that's, in my gyms, that's not gonna happen, cause all they do is just resurface it every year.
Hey, Richard, can you hear me?
I thought maybe you could just get out to your paintbrush.
No.
Oh, she just texted.
Sweet.
Ah,
Sweet. Hello, Linda. All right, guys, we better get started here.
We have so many cards.
Yes. The quicker we start, the earlier we can get out of here.
Okay.
We do.
Yeah, that's good. What about the Paris directors?
yeah,
Casey, do you have any writing utensils down there?
No, but I could probably find some.
I didn't get it. I didn't check.
I,
Check record. A few weeks ago, yeah. But, yeah, I think I'll just contact Harris too. Maybe he'll.
protect our, because Kirsten,
How's it going, Linda?
good, how's farming going?
It is
They are really
good.
on the technology.
When did
No
you-
kidding.
That's what the.
You guys get hit
That's
with
what I'm
the
not
mail?
good at.
Luckily not. Luckily not. It missed us. We did it at least today. A couple weeks ago we got a little bit, but
Nobody's doing it.
not bad.
Mountaintop just got
He's
hit.
not into that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, you guys want to, Jim and Bob, you guys want to get this meeting going?
Yes.
I feel like I'm far removed over here.
Well, come over
Yeah,
here.
you can join the group. Yeah. You're such an introvert.
All right, well, without further ado, we'll get the meeting started with roll call. It looks like we have everyone here except for Lisa Rogers, Cheryl Griner, and Julie Peterson, and then Lori Rauch did confirm she is on Zoom listening in. I don't know if Richard's here, but if
What about Cheryl? I think she is too.
okay, Cheryl might be, but Lori did text me and confirm she can hear me, so she is listening in on this. Any comments on the meeting or minutes from our last meeting? Motion, anybody want a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right. All right. Thank you. Linda and Lance. Hello, Lori. We can see you. All in favor of approving the last meeting's minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Sweet. Thank you. All right. Public comment period. Anyone from the public? Brandon, Remy, any comments?
Just here to hear the updates.
Sounds good. We'll take that as a no public comment. All right. Updates on the project. Casey, you want to just give a quick update where things are at right now?
The planning department, City of Newberg, has all the plans in their under review right now. So I think they have 45 days. So the plan is sometime in May, get the construction documents, get a RFP out for the construction, and hopefully July 1 start. That's the plan.
Nice. So have they gone through the period where they notified all the neighbors within 500 feet?
Yes, we did.
Sweet.
Got some comments. As you can imagine what it was,
Yeah.
mostly noise.
Yeah.
How many?
There were 4 that were submitted to the city, and then we received one after the fact to the registration desk at the pool. Typically, we figured there's a 250-foot buffer around the facility regarding any neighbor. So, and there is no noise ordinance in the city of Newberg other than nuisance noise. We are going to have to put signage up that restricts the playing hours from, I think, 7 to 7 was our proposal. We talked to both the architect or the landscape architect, and Clay and I had a discussion with him last week. So I think the most important thing is the signage. I don't believe there's going to be other items from the city. We talked about noise buffering through equipment, through landscaping, but 250 feet is a long way. And some of the people that were bringing that up were not even close to the area, but were located around Jaquith Park, not so much pickleball.
Yeah.
So we're kind of hoping that, there's really nothing, there's no ordinance that says that we couldn't put it there. But we do need to kind of keep that in mind going forward. And, you know, if there's other things that we can do to, I know they're working on equipment, you know, making the noise a little bit more bearable. Perhaps the new surfacing will help. There are alternative surfaces, but they get extremely expensive. So that's kind of where it's at. And I'm here representing Julie tonight, so you can count Julie in. She's across the road. They have a meeting over there for adult sports, so she couldn't make it tonight.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, thank you for being here, and thanks for that update. Anybody have any questions for Casey?
Sounds good moving forward.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to keep on the front burner the idea that we want to have the cover as soon as we can. And I know it's going to take a while, but a number of people have commented on the fact that it would increase the playing season by weeks in the spring and the fall if it was covered.
Press that button.
It would increase the playing season if we had a cover, and I'm just hoping that maybe the club and other groups can get involved and help raise money and do things. And part of it is just is the growing interest of pickleball. The number of people that are asking about it and coming in to watch, those numbers have increased greatly in the last couple of years. And I think it's a, you know, as everybody knows, a growing movement. And I'd just like to see us not forget the importance of that, having that area covered as soon as possible. So, looking at you and Casey.
Yeah, Mr. Board Member.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, but how it's getting built now is being built so that in the future, when the money is there, if the Newberg Pickleball Club can help, however we make that happen, it will be able to be installed, a cover of some sort.
Yeah, correct. We kind of designed it for the addition, and we kind of requested that from the architect, and you know, it shouldn't affect the stormwater or anything else because it's just covering the surface. So.
Perfect. Yeah.
Just to be frank, from my perspective, is that a lot of the, you know, whether it be the Clark Center or Sanders Park or a lot of the different things that have been built, have also had private funding to help to build those. Cultural centers. A good example, but that was a big push by that nonprofit. So I would recommend, with all the pickleball players in the world now, it seems, that you guys might want to look towards moving this along, because that will also help if, let's say, we apply for a grant to help with this. When you have in-kind donation and or private funding along with government funding, that's a good look.
Or foundation funding. We have two sizable foundations in our city that love to fund stuff like this.
But it's just a really good look.
Yeah.
And you can leverage different things if there's all those players involved. So instead of just using taxpayers' money, we're looking at our budget right now, and I'm sure that it can be attested to that it is tight, and so we just need to be aware of that.
Yeah, and I can speak for the Newberg Pickleball Club. We have been at our meetings actively sort of talking about fundraising ideas, and when we have these courts hosting a tournament to fundraise, and different ways to go about reaching out to pickleball club members who, you know, would be interested in a donation and things like that. So yeah, we're actively talking about that, and it's a good point, Jim. I think one group in town that I've seen, and maybe you guys can speak to this, that seem to do a really good job of sort of community-oriented moving things forward is the BMX track. Those people always seem to show up and put all hands on deck when they want something to, you know, put the elbow grease in. Not that we're going to go and build a cover, but you know, seems to be successful.
And private funding can also be funneled into our foundation here, with pickleball specifically earmarked for that funding, with that funding. So, you know, you could look at that too, and maybe talk to the superintendent about that, and, you know, look towards folks that want to fund that way. I don't know about tax deductions anymore, the way things go.
If they give to the foundation, it is deductible.
Yep.
How?
I'm just not sure anymore, because things keep changing.
It's-
all the
no,
time.
It's fine.
So anyway, so that's another avenue.
This way.
Sweet, yeah, but I think it is a very, very good point there, Bob. All right, any other comments on that front?
One question I have.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, is regarding the hours, I think especially in the summer when it's still light, at 7 o'clock is gonna be real tough to get people off the courts. 7 PM.
Yeah,
There will be a sign down there, and there will be probably presence of some people that would let them know that.
Is there a
Because-
chance of shifting it 8 to 8?
No.
Okay.
The noise ordinance in Newberg states 7 AM to 10 PM is noise restriction, but there are certain things that are considered a nuisance after 7, and that
okay.
might be one of them, so heads up. And if we put a sign up, if the police for some reason go in there and they're responding to a complaint, they will let them know. So, and or park staff or whoever.
There's always a possibility, you go for a year with that time.
Yeah, and nobody says anything.
You don't get any complaints, then you can, appeal to the city or whoever to maybe make a change, but I start out slow and then look towards the future. That's just my opinion.
Casey, has it always been that way at Jakewood?
As far as noise.
As far as the tennis courts?
It's, I think the sign says dawn till dusk. It's always been like that in our parks. But because of the facilities use and what we're doing in there, we're gonna put a sign that's pretty much says hours.
Okay.
Because we had some feedback from the public when we sent those notices out that people were down there at 5:30 AM in the summertime and later at night. So I think it needs to be signed. We talked about automatically locking gates, and I'm going, that adds a cost of $8,000 per gate to lock it.
jeez.
And I don't wanna go there. I'd rather put a sign up on every gate and hope that people follow the rules.
Anything else? All right, so the big thing I would like to try and get to during this meeting is nail down this sort of idea of a listening session to the public and anyone interested in coming, and just to kind of get us all on the same page. And this is more of a question as it is a statement. So the goal of this listening session, in my eyes, is for a chance that we can basically put out the plans to the public, largely the pickleball community, because we get a lot of questions about what's it going to look like, what's it going to be, and then rumors start, and why aren't they putting the cover on, when are they getting, things like that. So kind of my hope is we can get ahead of it, tell everyone, hey, this is what it is, bring your questions, let's talk about it, let's hear what you have to say, and yeah, basically open it up to the public. And my hope would be that Casey, you might be willing, or one of your staff members, to come do bulk of the talking, because I don't want to misspeak or anything like that. We'd be happy to do all the rest of the organization of advertising. And do you have any thoughts on that? So happy you're here tonight, by the way.
Well, it depends on when it is.
Yeah.
And where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always get a staff member or myself to come do
So
a little session.
Yeah.
I had a long conversation with Kat about this. What she would like us to do to move this forward is we need to pick our dates. We need to pick the location. We talked about the senior center. We talked about the armory. We talked, of course, about the pool.
One that I was thinking of would be the, what about the picnic area at Jakewood?
What I don't like about that is that if we have weather, it's a problem. if the wind's blowing, it's a problem, and if we wanna put up anything, boards or whatever, it's a problem. And I think if we're going to do this in the April timeframe, I looked at the weather tonight, it could be nasty. And sometimes people aren't as, I think people, my experience is people like to come to a building.
Mhm.
I don't-
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
Kat said that she can help us with collateral material as well as getting our display boards or whatever we all think we should have.
Well, I guess with that, we want to talk about potential dates. I was thinking ideally, just because it's when the public's most available, but maybe a staff member would be on a Saturday morning. Is that an option if we want a staff member there?
Most of our staff
Yeah.
don't work on the
Okay.
weekends,
Okay.
except for myself and Brian.
Yeah.
We work because we're busy.
You're doing stuff. Okay. But so maybe what do we think of a Friday morning?
So I floated this with Cheryl,
Mhm.
and Kat would like to see this. When is the next pickleball board meeting?
This one?
The
The
pickleball.
Newberg Pickleball
Yeah.
Club is in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
because we had talked about doing that, having you guys have your executive
Mhm.
session, and then have, and then invite the public
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. It's an option. We meet at 7 p.m.
I
mean, we could do it during our April one, or I mean our May one for sure.
That's what I would suggest, is you just kind of plan on having a public meeting at your normal meeting time,
Okay.
because then everyone's available.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Would we have to stream that legally if it's?
No,
not sure what that
I don't
is?
think so. It's just a public open house.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it's good for the Newberg Pickleball Club to actually see all of our board members
Mhm.
in one place. I think it's good for our members to see that we actually have a board and how hard you guys are working for this
Yeah.
pickleball in Newberg.
Um,
What's the date on that?
so I think the next one would likely be May 20th. The next one we have on the calendar is April 15th, and I don't think that gives us enough time to get everything
No, I
ready.
don't-
So I would say May 20th would be our next best option.
May 20th?
Yeah.
And if you could pick a place, where would it be?
It depends if there's the cultural center somewhere in there would be great, but I don't know if there's a cost associated. I mean, here I think is a great meeting space, and especially if we do need to stream it, it's set up for it.
Yeah, you guys can use this room as much as you want,
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay.
within reason. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
What
yeah.
about
That's
the,
what it's here for.
Yeah.
how many people do you think will come?
I think that's a great question. I think a good portion of the pickleball club, we're just over 200 members, and I think probably 30 would come. You know, just the amount of questions I get about this from people and say, hey, just wait, we'll have a listening session to answer all these questions at some point. I could see a lot of people showing out, but
Have you guys shared the information I gave you already?
if people have asked, I have shared a little screenshot, but I'm really scared to not have exactly accurate information. People start talking and people start saying, well, why aren't they doing this and why aren't, so I've tried to be careful about it.
Okay.
Ditto on that,
Yeah.
I totally concur with
Yeah.
you. Hey, Lori, what are you thinking on this?
I think you're gonna get 30 to 50 people.
Yeah, well, we've had 68 in this room before, so it holds a lot more than it looks like.
That's a good space, I mean,
Yeah,
Fire alarm.
okay.
Yeah, there's
and
an
then you
occupancy.
have a screen to show the plans. It's nice to have that available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the screen you're on, it do us fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
huge, I feel huge.
You are human.
Yeah. Well, should we say May 20th at 6 p.m. You can run that by Kat and see if that works for this room,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
And then Casey, can she communicate with the architect to get the
No.
schematics?
No, I'll get it.
Okay, okay, I'll just
I'll-
let you
I'll-
and Casey.
She can ask me.
Great.
and I
Yeah.
can get it to
Okay.
her.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, what about the general public?
Yeah, so I think post that. I mean, I think obviously invite as many people who want to come. Post it on the CPRD website.
You can post it on the Facebook website,
Mhm.
the Pickleball Facebook website.
That could work. Yeah, I know. I feel like that's a good
You can
idea.
put it up at the course. I don't know how much good weather, I mean, there should be good weather between now and then.
Yeah.
People would see that.
Yep. And put it up at the aquatic center. I think would be a
Yeah.
good way to get the word out.
On the Newsburg too.
Put it on Newsberg. Yep, definitely.
Newsburg.
Yeah.
Facebook.
And so we can put it at my courts.
Yep. Sweet.
Okay, well, I'll get going on that and then communicate with you.
Yeah, I think the biggest priority is talk with Kat, and if she says it's a go on that, we can start doing what we can.
So you guys don't wanna do just a general meeting, to, or the neighbors, because we had talked about that, how many people did we have to mail to? KC 250?
No, I think there was like 155.
Do we need to, they had public comment, they don't really need to come to a public meeting, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just keep it with one.
Yeah, I think just doing
That's-
one. I think
that's
it's
a
totally
question.
fine. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to do more than one.
Lori,
I agree.
Yeah.
Lance,
I mean, it's kind of already in the works. If
Okay.
you have
Yeah.
public meetings, you would have had them beforehand.
Yeah.
Especially if you record it, so then
Yeah.
if people have issues that, or wanted to be there and couldn't, they can watch it.
Yeah, and also if we do our due diligence in advertising it, hypothetically, those people will see it and know that it's happening. If they want to come, they can come.
You have plenty of time to get
Yeah.
the word out.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
All right. Any other details to that we should discuss now? The nice thing is we will have one more meeting before, one more advisory committee meeting before that, so we'll be able to talk through anything else. Nothing else. Any new business?
Nick, I have one question. I don't know if it's
Yep.
new business or not, but you sent me a link regarding the surface,
Yes.
and it appeared that there's 3 different options.
Yeah.
Different kinds of that. Has it been decided on which one?
Yes, it was. So it's that first one that is highlighted when you go to the website. The I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. The
I think so.
plexi, yeah, something. And if in the meeting, I think it was the February meeting when the architect went over it, he explains why that one was chosen,
Okay.
and they did look at the other ones and stuff. It sounded like so. Yeah.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Do you know anything about that surface? And yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, other than the fact that it's at Indian Wells, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of a pretty good proof that it's gonna be a good surface.
For sure.
But we do have people that we could ask a few
Mhm.
questions if we wanted. I know the shape of the sand itself
Mhm.
can make a difference on play. And there was the listing of fast, it speeds up the game or slows
Yeah.
it down, so
Yeah.
just things to think about.
Absolutely.
I think it needs to be slow for me.
Anything else, Jim?
Yeah, I've got a question, and this may be a moving target, because people have asked me, and I'm not 100% sure, and you may not be either, is, once the city approves,
you're gonna go put an RFP, we're gonna get the contractor and so on and so forth. Looking to break ground
July 1.
kind of midsummer.
No, that's like the start of summer here. After the rains subside,
So July 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And
really
completion-
wanna get, if it's gonna rain through June,
No, because people said, oh, I hear you're breaking ground in June. I said, I'm not sure that's happening. So that's good to know. So July 1 and/or drier if possible.
drier the better.
Yeah.
And completion sometime September, October, right?
I would guess by mid-September, yeah.
It's just, have we put out queries at all to contractors because they're gonna be
Not yet.
booked?
Nice. Well, that's, yeah, sounds good. Any other new business or other comments?
I do have a question. What type of a contractor will be doing this? Is it a
General
just
contractor, yeah.
like Saunders or some of that type of company?
If I remember correctly, the architect said someone who specializes in like basically earth moving, right?
Yep.
You know, it's just gonna be a lot of moving dirt to get
Yep.
it flat and all that. Yeah.
So it's all about the grade
Yeah.
and the dirt.
It is
compaction.
absolutely about the grade.
Okay.
And, you know, from what I gathered, John said that the site materials balance out, so there's no hauling stuff off, it all stays in the park. And then materials be brought back in to, you know, make sure that, you know, the sub base gets put down properly, and they're gonna check all the grades and everything before it gets paved, so.
Okay.
Yeah, lots more materials coming in than leaving. And we're trying to get away, we're trying to get the staging area set so that they don't interrupt the whole park. I mean, yes, they'll be coming and going, but they won't close down the parking area so much. We're gonna have them kind of go left after they come through, and then they'll be driving down, you know, we'll take some fences out, so it's basically straight in, and they'll come back out.
Oh, so they won't really be using the driveway at all,
I don't-
other than just to get in off the street?
Other than to get in off the street, yeah.
Okay.
Because that, you know, there's other things in the park they can tear up if they're going through the park. The parking lot may get torn up if we actually use the parking lot. Other things are easier to fix. And, you know, we can justify, you know, rocking some overflow parking and that kind of stuff, so. There's some
Use that
other,
open lot too, can we?
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and they can store their equipment, you know, back in the staging area and kind of go from there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great.
It's nice that the park can stay open during that time for people.
Yeah, it may not be fully
So-
open, it might be, you know, a little bit, I don't know.
Who is the one searching for the contractor? I just don't know that
Well,
info.
that goes out for an RFP, so that just gets put out there generally through contractors board and through the
And then
local
bid on.
papers and stuff like that, and make possibly a few phone calls to let people know.
Anything else?
Wow, we're so quiet and fast today.
Any questions from the public based on what you've heard? Nice. All right, well, I guess we'll meet same
I
time.
guess I do have
Yep,
one more question.
yeah,
Because I have my tournament that I usually run,
yep.
and this year it would be June 20th to 22nd.
Mhm.
Is that something I should plan on, or should I find a different location? Are you guys, I don't know if this is the right place to ask that, or,
Not really, I think I told Julie when when she should let people on there, or when we might be actually under construction.
Yeah, I think Julie Peterson would be the one to reach out
Okay.
to. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that I need to make sure that it's clear that if we do have a dry June, which I doubt, you know, contractor schedules are iffy, and the contractor may want to get on there sooner if it's,
Yeah.
you know, proper. So I would say that, you know, you just need to be aware of your tournament concerning that.
That's
You know,
fine.
You know,
Yeah,
especially
I
if
do
you
have
get a
an
lower bid.
alternative.
Anytime after June 15th, I wouldn't schedule anything.
Yeah, especially if we get a lower bid, but it could rain all of June too, so we don't know. Or it could be dry all of June.
I've seen it rain till July 4th,
Yep.
so.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not summer until July 4th, or July 5th. We all know that.
Cause we'd hate to have it
First
where,
day of summer
all of a
is
sudden
June
you plan a big
21st, I
tournament,
wanna let you know
and
that.
then all of a sudden, oh, nope, we're going in there, and then you're in, you have to turn around.
Yeah, I do have an alternative spot that I'm looking into, so
Thanks.
that's fine.
Next year it'll be really nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
All right. Last chance for comments. All right. Well, I guess good, solid, efficient meeting today. And Linda, you'll reach out to Kat, and we'll get going on this listening session. And thank you, Casey, for being here. You too, Jim, and everybody else. Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming, Laurie.
Thank you. Have a good one.
30 minutes.
It took me a while.